I never believed in ghosts. Not really. Sure, I enjoyed a good horror movie now and then, but I always told myself that the supernatural was nothing more than superstition. Fabricated tales meant to scare people for entertainment. That all changed one summer when I was forced to confront something I still struggle to explain. That IT happened when I was 22 years old. I had just moved into a small, old apartment on the outskirts of town. It wasn't anything fancy, just a cheap place I could afford while working night shifts at a local diner. The building had seen better days. Its walls bore the scars of time. The wooden floors groaned under the weight of even the lightest steps, and a permanent musty scent lingered in the air. The landlord had warned me that tenants never stayed for long. Some complained about strange noises. Others mentioned unsettling feelings. He chuckled as he said it, as if trying to downplay the warnings, but I could see something in his eyes. A hesitation, a flicker of unease. I brushed it off. After all, what could an empty apartment possibly do to me? I wish I had listened. The first sign, the first few nights passed uneventfully. Sure, the walls creaked at odd hours, and I sometimes felt like I was being watched, but I dismissed it. My imagination was just playing tricks on me, I reasoned. But then, one night, everything changed. IT was late, 3 a.m. I had just gotten home from work, drained from another exhausting shift. My body ached as I took a quick shower, then collapsed onto my bed, barely able to keep my eyes open. Sleep came fast, heavy, but it didn't last long. Knock, knock, knock. The sound was soft, deliberate. My eyes fluttered open, my breath catching in my throat. The knocking wasn't coming from my front door. It was coming from inside my bedroom. More specifically, from my closet. A cold wave of fear rolled over me. My mouth felt dry. My fingers trembled as I reached for my phone, turning on the flashlight. The dim glow illuminated the room, casting eerie shadows along the walls. I held my breath, listening. Silence. Just as I was about to chalk it up to my imagination, I heard it again, creak, the slow, agonizing sound of which shifting. My closet door was opening by itself. Every muscle in my body locked in place. The air around me turned ice cold, so frigid that I could see my breath. My heart pounded against my ribs, my mind screaming at me to move, to run, to do something, but I couldn't. I was frozen. Then, from the darkness within the closet, I heard it. A whisper, faint yet unmistakable. A voice that wasn't mine. IT spoke my name. The unseen presence. I bolted upright, scrambling for the light switch. As soon as the bulb flickered on, the room returned to normal. My closet door was slightly ajar, but there was nothing there. No figure lurking in the shadows. No monstrous entity waiting to pounce. Just an empty space. But the fear didn't fade. I barely slept that night, every creak of the apartment making my pulse skyrocket. The next morning, I convinced myself that it had all been a nightmare, just a stress-induced hallucination from exhaustion. That I was wrong. Over the next few weeks, the disturbances grew worse. Lights flickered on and off. Objects moved when I wasn't looking. Subtle things, like my keys ending up on the floor or my chair being pulled out from my desk. But at night, it was worse. At night, I felt it. A presence. It started with an unbearable feeling of being watched. Then came the whispers, soft at first, almost like the wind, but they grew louder, more persistent. My name over and over, always coming from the closet. I stopped opening it. I even tried locking it. But every morning, without fail, I would wake up to find the door slightly open, like something was getting out. The horrifying truth. Desperate for answers, I started researching the apartment's history. What I found made my blood run cold. Decades ago, a man had lived there, a reclusive artist named Daniel Grayson. He had no family, no friends. The neighbors rarely saw him, but they heard things. Strange noises, whispers in the dead of night. Then, one day, the sound stopped. When the authorities finally entered his apartment, they found his decomposed body inside the closet. The cause of death? Unclear. But what horrified investigators the most were the words scrawled on the closet walls. He's watching. He's waiting. Don't open the door. The final night, that was it. I couldn't stay any longer. That night, I packed my things, shoving clothes into my suitcase with shaking hands. The moment I zipped my bag, the light in my room flickered once, twice, then died completely. Darkness swallowed me whole. The air grew thick, suffocating. My breath came in ragged gasps as I reached for my phone, the only source of light I had left. As soon as the flashlight beam cut through the dark, I turned toward the closet. The door was wide open, and standing inside was him. A figure, barely visible in the shadows, tall, thin, eyes hollow, sunken deep into a face twisted in anguish. Before I could move, he lunged, The last thing I remember was an ice-cold hand brushing against my arm. Then nothing, the aftermath. I woke up outside, my bag clutched in my trembling arms. My heart hammered so violently I thought it would burst. That I never went back. That I never collected the rest of my belongings. I didn't care. To this day, I don't know what I encountered in that apartment. But I do know one thing. I was not alone, and sometimes, in the dead of night, when the world is silent, I still hear it. That same whisper. My name calling from the dark.